Hello and welcome to the Full Figured Interviews, where we talk to some of the incredible people in our Full Figured community. I'm James.
And I'm Tim, so let's get into it.
Y'all, today we are speaking with one of the Full Figured Industry Awards 2024 Entertainers of the Year, Miss Tiffany Lady T. Watson.
How y'all doing?
Good, honey. How you doing?
I'm making it. I'm here. I'm out here. I'm excited to be here with you guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming on.
Of course.
Ooh. Really, you were one of the ones that when we first sat down and we were like, let's do some research on some people to learn about them. You came with IMDb credits, you came with the back catalog, you came with the dossier, and we were like, well, this elusive chanteuse, this unknown entity, how could we possibly?
I'm stacked, okay? I do it all, okay? Everything.
All, and we are going to get into all of it today, so you know what? Let's get right into it. Considering all of the things that you have done and could be known about you, for anyone watching who maybe has not come across you before, what would you say is the first thing you want people to know about you?
Oh, man. I mean, for those who don't know me, of course, I am Lady T, but also, I'm a lifestyle TV host. I am an actress, a podcast host. I am a comedian. Oh my gosh, I did stand-up comedy for a couple of years too. I did all of that. I am just a jack of all trades in the media and entertainment industry. And I'm out here just surviving and thriving. That's all I'm doing. I'm just taking it a day at a time, okay? But I love what I do.
My goodness. And I tell you, like seconds into this recording, I'm like, oh, that light just shines from you, girl. My goodness. And you really emanate in all of the things that we've had the opportunity to do some research and see you do what you do, and you really represent just that joy. And I'd be curious to know, like, as a gorgeous plus size woman, where have you come to find that love and pride in your body?
Oh Lord, I do love my curves. Where did this come from? Well, first of all, I'm West Indian. So my family is from Guyana, South America. So, we love to eat, be merry, and just, talk, laugh, talk about people. We just like, we like to keep it up, so, but, my mother, God rest her soul, she instilled in me a confidence, and I know I take after her. Everybody says that. So, but she instilled in me a confidence where I was just able to love on myself and love on my body. And I just love my curves. And that's how I became who I am. I think that was just ingrained in me. And I even spoke about it. I spoke about her in my speech when I accepted the award. And I was like, she saw stuff like this happening, like for us, like, curvy people would be acknowledged and recognized and, placed on just a higher platform, and just, we would just revel in just how the curvy community has come so far. So I just think it was my mom where all that came from, my heritage, all that. But it all stems from that. I've been grown this way, I'm homegrown this way, it feels like. So yeah.
I noticed you used the word curvy. What are some other euphemisms and like your relationship to them? Like words like fat and thick and voluptuous and zoftic and yeah.
Okay, you're making me hungry. Come on now. Sound like a steak, don't I? Sound like a juicy steak, baby. Well done too. Hey. I like to use those words because I felt like, growing up, I feel like we weren't able to use those words freely. Fat was always a bad thing. It was always a terrible word to use. But now I can say I'm curvy. I can say I'm plus size. I can say I'm full figured. And there's not as much judgment now because there's a whole community for us. So, and thank God for Queen Size magazines. Thank God for the Full Figure Fashion Week with Gwen DeVoe. Thank God for the curvy community because, you feel accepted. You feel like you're a part of. You feel like you are loved, and you feel like you're more so appreciated, where it's not, such a bad word. Those are not bad words like they used to be. Yeah. I got a little extra something on it, and I like it,
To take it back for a second, so you are an Emmy-nominated TV host
Baby, say it again.
for
Say it again.
Sorry,
Say it
sorry.
again. Say
Was
it
that
again.
Emmy nominated?
Say it again.
Was that
Emmy-nominated.
Emmy nominated? I think he said Emmy nominated. Is that right?
Yeah, I think he said it. I
I
think
think he said
it
it
was so
one more
nice he
time,
had to
Tim.
say
What
it
was
twice.
that?
Yeah.
Emmy Award nominated
Mm-hmm.
TV host for Baltimore's BMORE Lifestyle.
Yeah. Don't play
And that
with it.
runs
Don't play with it.
on Fox WBFF.
That's right. Say it again.
BMORE Lifestyle on
Mhm.
Fox 45 WB.
That's right. That's me. That's me. I mean, you said it all. What more needs to be said?
Well, I was curious. So like growing up, is that like, did you listen to a lot, or did you like watch a lot of TV shows that were like that? Did you listen to them on the radio? Is that where the drive to break into broadcasting came from?
Yeah, I mean, so when I was in when I was in high school, I was initially going to be a lawyer because, you know, my mom and dad didn't want us to be doctors and lawyers. My sister was supposed to be a nurse. I was supposed to be a lawyer. And I was like, I don't want to do this ish. So I knew I didn't know how to break it to my mom. But eventually I did let her know. And, you know, in college, I studied broadcast journalism. But what happened, here's where she messed up. My mom made us watch Oprah every single day. So technically it's her fault because, right, like you got me watching Oprah every day. Oprah, hello.
What did she think was going to happen?
What you think was going to happen? You get a show. You get a show. You get your own show. Like, obviously, I'm going to want my own show after that, right? So, so basically, I feel like just watching Oprah every day, and then I wanted to be a radio host too. Like, I didn't even care about TV first. I was just like, oh, that looks like fun to do, but it was radio I wanted to get into. I wanted to be like the people here. I wanted to be like Quicksilver and Angie Ange and Angie Martinez and Funkmaster Flex and all those different, like the bigger names. I wanted to be like them, you know, doing radio and stuff. But then I could not get a job in radio for some reason. But somehow I was able to become a newspaper reporter. And then from there, I would like comment on TMZ Live. And then I got a job at Fox, and then I was able to pitch my own segments and stuff, and that's how I got into TV. But it just kept flowing in a whole different direction from where I was trying to go. And yeah. I mean, I thank God for it. I'm not complaining, but this was not, you know, I just felt like I knew I was going to be somewhere in broadcast. I thought it was going to go a different route, honestly. But I'm glad for where I am at, you know, TV, man, who would have thought?
Well,
when you were trying to get in the beginning, like you said, and you couldn't manage to find a job, do you remember what the market was like at the time? Do you think it was just because it was saturated, or do you think that there was potentially some misogyny?
Oh, no, the market was just bad.
Okay.
When I got out of undergrad, I went to Bowie State University, and when I got out of undergrad, couldn't get a job at all, not even as a receptionist. I mean, the amount of rejections that I got, it was pitiful. So then I was able to go back to school. So then I went to graduate school, and I did it online, Full Sail University. And then when I did that, I was advanced achiever, valedictorian, came out, still couldn't get a job. Couldn't get a job. Had to pivot.
Listen, sometimes I think the meme of like, we need you to have 10 years experience, be fresh out of university, have all your A-levels, and be willing to work for like below minimum wage. I feel like the meme of like, that's what's happening now. We've been done you. This is this.
Well, and we used to convince ourselves that was getting our foot in the door. We used to convince ourselves that, this is my first step. In 10 years, I'll be manager.
Right.
That's like such a thing.
It's all like, it was just such a bad time to try to reach goals and dreams and whatever it is you try to do with your life. It was just that was 2012, 2013, 2014 was when I graduated grad school. It was bad. I didn't get a job until 2015 as a newspaper reporter, only making like $50 a story. No, $35 a story. I'm sorry. Don't give me too much money. $15 for a photo. So if you did a story and you did $35 for the story, and if you happen to snap a photo while you're there to go with it, that's $15. So that whole story would be $50. That's how I added that up. So So that's the level of pity that I times were hard out here in these streets. Like, I don't know, like it was just really bad. Anyway, I mean, from there I was able to get a better job as a newspaper reporter where I think I was making like 30,000 at a different newspaper, and this is bad. Now I'm thinking back to how much I was making. I was barely living, and they only paid us on the 15th and 30th. It was bad.
You know, there's something probably to be said, right? Like, so many of us who've had the blessing to receive an award through the FFIAs and people who work in the plus-size industry, so much of that is arts adjacent, right? Yeah. And I think that there is just this assumption that you are guaranteed a living wage like you would do in any other profession, because why wouldn't you? Right? Like, you're a professional. They expect you to look good, especially if you're being presentable. So why wouldn't they be paying you the money? And yet, so often in a lot of these industries, there is just not the money going around. And you're like, wait.
I think I look like money, and I get that a lot. But everything that I have on, I will not lie to y'all. Everything I have on, $9, $10. I get all this stuff on sale. Ashley Stewart, Lane Bryant, Eloquy. Like, I'm a bargain.
Timu has been my thing.
Listen, the House of Shein. I be out here.
Baby, TK Maxx polos.
What? Oh, I'm a Ross girl. So.
Oh, I learned about Ross last time I was in America. I was introduced to Ross, to Marshalls, and to Five Below. That's where Tim.
Oh, yeah. Wait, they done got you trained out here. Okay. You are trained very well. I'm very impressed.
Listen, Tim was hunting through the racks. It was fantastic. It really, really was. And you know what? That's probably a really good pivot question just to ask here, right? Because, girly, the state of plus size fashion, I love that there is a push. I love that we are seeing more. But in terms of affordable, more accessible fashions, I feel like we are still quite far behind in terms of what the mainstream gets to have. So yes, you are, Miss Ma'am, ordering your things, being sensible, being budget appropriate and all that. What would you say is like your biggest tidbit to people who are plus size trying to look the professional part on a budget?
Ooh, that's a great question. You really have to, I don't know, I am constantly looking for a deal. Like, if I know that these places are ready to get rid of their seasonal stuff, that's when you got to go on there. You really got to go on when they're ready to get rid of that stuff for the season, the winter stuff, and or summer's coming up, or spring is coming up, and they're getting rid of the winter stuff. If you have to be, it's about timing. You got to know your timing. You're going to need clothes, but I will say a lot of my friends and, my people, they always shop at the last minute, I would say.
That's me.
I can't do that. I can't do that because I need to make sure it fits. Like, I'm not about to go get alterations done. Like, my clothes need to fit. They need to be all up on me. Okay. But definitely, like, you got to shop when there's a deal. When you see it, just know that deal will not be there for a whole week, or your size is not going to be there for the whole week. You got to get it when you can. Get in when you fit in, baby. You got to get it quick. So I do like to shop deals whenever they like have them. Listen, Afterpay has become my best friend. Okay. Afterpay, Klarna, and all this.
Baby, you better come.
No, we listen and we don't judge. We listen and we don't judge.
We hold space. We're sitting next to each other. We're like grasping each other, holding each other close.
I'm hugging you.
You're hugging me. And we're just like faces smushed against each other as we say thank you.
There you go.
So, thank you. Yeah.
See, there you go. That's the best I can give you, because I don't want these people going onto these sites and getting my size, because then my size will run out. So that's the only tidbit I'm gonna give y'all. That's it. Point blank, period.
I love that. Lady T holds it out with one hand, but she's ready to pull it back with the other. So
I can't give you everything.
Gotta be prepared. I will say something I've learned here in the UK is, and listen, I know we don't want spam emails. We don't want catalog recommendations flying out inboxes. I understand. But also, if you subscribe to those places and you know that they do stock your size appropriately, you know that you like their clothing, it is worth it to subscribe with an email that you're willing to get all of your to and just filter through it every single week, because if they have a sale, if they have a code, if they have a something, it will come directly to your inbox and you will see it, right? But again, be sensible. Don't sub to everybody when you don't know. Like, if you know the brand works for you, sub to them. Don't just to everyone, otherwise you're gonna miss
subscribe. And then I also get text messages. That's how I cheat. So I get the text message updates. That's how I cheat. Don't judge me. I'm trying to get the jump on these people, though.
Listen, we don't judge. So I want to ask, right, if we're bringing it back to, you know, your career and all of the things you've done, I know, like your radio start was on, was it Hot 99.5's Kane and Sarah show? Was that the one?
Yeah, it was Kane's show and
Sarah.
And then Sarah's show was right after. So yes, I used to intern for them. And then, but he gave me my start. He was like, all right, you learn how to do the phones. You learn how to do all these things. Like, I need you to get on air. Come up with a little tidbit. Come up with something. And I didn't, and that was like my first introduction into like broadcast and media. So he really did give me my start. Shout out to Kane. But he passed on at this point in time. But I have to say that man gave me my start. Like, he was just like, oh, you know all this stuff now. So I'm over it. Like, give me something to work with. What can you, like, come up with something? I did this little church with Lady T, like, just making fun of people. And just making fun of people at church. I was like, you know, people praying for you and their breath stinks, or, you know, they doing the stanky leg. They doing the stanky leg during the altar call. And, you know,
far too many pastors be trying to pray over you with the Holy Spirit, and the hand they lay on you was a very forceful hand to try and get the Spirit to knock you on your ass.
Yeah. It be like that. And then, like, and I don't have the appropriate outfit on to be falling back that day. You know what I mean? I don't. It's not.
I love church, but these are wooden pews on a hardwood floor, baby. Like, you got to put it down. Like,
not this lace front. This lace front on this hardwood floor is not happening. Don't play with me.
Yes, the service you clean the church comes after the service, not beforehand. There is dirt on the floor. People be walking in with muddy shoes in the winter. Like, this is not. Please
and sometimes the church don't vacuum, so you can't do stuff like that if you know that church didn't vacuum and you see somebody else's lace front on the floor. There's a lot going on. So I would just come up with these little funny things, and I don't know. It helped me realize, though, that, like, I have the gift of gab, and I thought that was like a bad thing, but I realized, and my teachers and everyone told me, they were like, you have the gift of gab. That is something unique, and you have to build upon that. Like, that's something that you got to take to the bank with you. And that, I think that when I realized that, I was like, all right, let me try to do something with this, you know.
And you know, people who are intimidated by the gift of gab are just people who lack confidence.
Oh, I like that. That makes me feel better about myself. Thank you.
Yeah.
It was reassurance. Thank you.
No, but that is tea, and we are spilling the tea with Lady T on this today, because, and that is the truth of it. Girlie, some of us are just gifted with what we, listen, the Lord gives gifts. Don't you know? He does. Some of our gifts are to do whatever it is to do, and some of us talk. We have testimony, mission, power with our voice and with our words. We have conviction of the Spirit. If we do not use tongue, lips, teeth, and voice and vocal box to project and give what needs to be given, then we aren't doing the Lord's work. We would be bad people in the eyes of the Lord. Come
on, you better tell it. We are, and that's why spilling the tea is important. I'm not just talking about you. I'm conversing about you in a matter of that. I just am reporting the details and the news of whatever's going on in your life. But the tea has to be spilled. Don't let that cup run it. That cup runneth over. We gotta, it gotta spill. You know.
You're reading, and reading is fundamental.
Come on. I love y'all. If I could just carry you guys with me in my pocket every day.
Well, girlie, you know.
Well, he might fit. I don't know about me.
How dare you calling me skinny mini like that? I would.
No, I meant short.
Oh yes, because I'm short. Yes, okay, that would probably work as well. But you know what though? Like, this is what this is all about. You know, the joy of getting to connect with so many different winners and honorees in all these categories. You know, and like, baby, there is a reason why you won. There is a reason why you were Entertainer of the Year, because you give, and it is to be received. And we would not be good podcast hosts if we did not take the opportunity to delve into and explore and extol your virtues and just put it all out there on the table, baby.
Thank you. That was a heck of a night. Thank you so thank you.
It was one hell of a night. It was amazing.
It was so good. Did you guys see me accept my award with no shoes on?
Honestly,
oh, yes.
I think we actually turned to each other. We're like, you know what? She's comfy. And I think that was the whole like, yes, you better do it.
When I tell y'all, my ride was outside, I was ready to go. I said, listen, my feet were hurting. I was like, I can't do this no more. And I was like, there's no way I'm gonna win anyway. I was ready to go. I was finna dip, y'all. And when I heard my name, I was like, wait, my shoes were already off. Like, I didn't know what to do. I was like, I was so excited. I said, wait, let me carry the shoes, but let me jet up there. And I was just so excited. And I was like, oh my God. So thank God for whoever was up there and like the young lady who helped me put my shoes on, actually. She was like, hey, let me have my moment. But I was just like, oh my goodness. Because once I was like, oh, El Baez got this. I'm a fan of hers. So I just was like, she's got this, honestly. And honestly, she deserves it. I was like, girl, she's been working. So I just love seeing everybody in the different categories. I'm like, okay, I got to research this person. I got to follow this person. I got to learn more about this person. I'm like, oh my goodness, how do I connect with that person? So I'm just there to network. But to win was, oh God, amazing. And I said to myself the year before, I said, everybody in all these categories, I want to connect with them. I want to be on their podcast. I want to do something with them, but I didn't know how to do it. So I was like, this is the perfect opportunity. So I'm so glad the Fires decided to partner with you guys. Because I was like, I got to get on Thicc Radio, baby. I got to get on.
Yes. Oh my God.
I got to get on the Thicc podcast. I was like, how do I get on here? So this is a blessing. So don't look at any of that other stuff. Just know that connections and networking and how this was supposed to happen is divine intervention. So yes.
Absolutely. What was meant to be was meant to be. We all here and we are doing what we were meant to do, which was hold all of this fabulous conversation, which to that point, of all the, baby, again, 50 million things you've done, let's talk comedy for a second. Listen, let's talk about it, because I know that you said you've done it for a couple of years. You opened for people like Kevin on Stage and Tommy Taylor Jr. Like, comedy is obviously a very different category than like straight up journalism. Do you feel that like aspects of like how you might craft a joke or like command a stage in a comedy setting has like informed or challenged how you maybe do things in the journalistic sense?
Well, so for now, like with how I do things on the lifestyle show, I would say everything that comes out my mouth is like my first reaction always seems to make someone laugh. So it comes naturally, which is great. So I like that part about it. But like, I don't know, this switch up, I will say, is difficult. My job, because at my job, I'm a segment producer in the morning and a morning show booker for Fox 45. So I start off doing that. Then I switch gears. I'm also doing assignment desk, digital producing, all that stuff. And then I switch gears at like 10:45, put my makeup on, beat my face. And then 11:30, I fly out, like out of the makeup room. I like zoom out of the makeup room into the main studio. And I literally go from, to all of a sudden, hey, I could be myself. I'm like, what up? How y'all doing? Yes, let's talk about OnlyFans. Yeah, who's twerking today? Like, and then I have to do these trending topics. So my job, the people at my job do marvel at me. They're like, wow, like you have to switch up so much. You go from, Miss Serious, like you're contacting public information officers with, the police departments and stuff for us for information. And there's a fire, there's a shooting, there's this, there's that. And then I switch gears and baby, I am down that hall and I am ready to spill the tea, ready to be like, let me tell you right now. Okay, so this mother is upset with her daughter and says that they should not be in the house at the same time, blah, blah. And I'm able to come up with things, and create for my show. So it's tough. It's a tough pivot. I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm at the point where I don't even think about it no more. I just do it. I'm like, I don't have time to really like process or think or anything like that. I got to go. I'm like, I got to go. I just got to do the next thing. So it's an interesting pivot, going from that. So does it affect it? And maybe it does. I just can't tell. And thank God no one else can. But I
honestly think maybe a more concise question would have been like, you do everything. What don't you do? And tell us why, because you do everything else, why don't you do that?
This is pitiful. I shouldn't, but I try to keep it at one thing now, because I was like, maybe, I don't know if people need to hear that I do the other stuff first at my job and then others. I don't want to confuse anybody. I just know that I do have my hands on a lot of different things at my job. They rely on me for a lot, which is great, you know, but at the same time, I know the loving part of my job that I love to do. I love doing the segment producing for the features parts of our morning show, some of the segments that I book, and I get to write them, and, you know, I get to put on meaningful stories. And then I have to go to my lifestyle show, put on meaningful stories there, but also make you laugh and entertain you at the same time. So it's a few different worlds that I'm tapping into, but I'm learning a lot, because then when I go out on my own, I'm gonna be a pro. I'll be a pro.
Take a sip of my tea. That was ooh.
That was good. That was big boss talk right there. Big boss talk.
With the mug the size of my head, because, you know, we have to drink a lot of tea to spill a lot of tea.
Ooh, I need a cup like that. I feel like I need a cup.
Baby, you need a big old cup. You need a big old mug to put all of that tea in for the.
That's what it is. I have like a little tea. I have a teacup that says Tiffany and Co. or Lady T, and a big T on it. But I need to step it up. I need a new teacup. So if you guys know of any, just, you know, send me links.
I sent you a link.
Yes, there you go.
You know, it's funny, speaking of big boss energy with his mug and the big boss energy that you just totally exude, and this, like, just is it effervescent or effervescent?
Still thinking effervescence.
Effervescent.
I was gonna say, I don't know, I can't spell like
I always thought it,
so.
for some reason I always thought it had a P. Effervescent personality.
Effervescence. By the way, effervescence, that is a sensation of when you know, like when you could relate it to soda if you want, but I like to think of it more as champagne. When you pour champagne and you pour it into the glass, and it's that sensation of the bubbles rising through the champagne. That is the definition of effervescence. It's that slight little sound.
Oh, I love that. I just drink it. I never think about any of that. I just drink the alcohol. So I know you had to do all that, but that's amazing. I love how you put that. Ooh.
But that's the effervescence. It's the lightness of spirit.
Oh, I'm going to use that word now. Okay, that was smart.
I've forgotten what I was going to ask now.
Because we got caught up on the wrong thing. Because we know how to spell effervescent. Thank you, though.
But I was going to
put it in the comments below. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I was just going to ask, do you feel like, by and large, that kind of attitude, that big boss, that, like, effervescence, to take charge, all that, do you feel that that's something that is growing in the plus size community, or do you feel that it still needs a lot of work?
I will say, I'm going to give everyone their flowers, because I will say yes, we have seen a lot of it. I need to see a little more, but but yes, we are seeing a lot of it. I think we've come a long way, because there was a time when we were kind of just hidden. Because remember, there used to just be like, oh, okay, let's just put one plus size person in the mix of this fashion show or this event. Let me just put one little, one plus size person there. Now it's like, okay, we got to make room for you. Like, I need to move these other people out the way and get a couple more full-figured women in there. So I do like that they're seeing us more. We're being considered more. We have categories now. Some of the award shows and fashion shows and award places that I've been going, they're like, okay, well, this is a full-figured, diva. This is a full-figured person. We have to acknowledge them. And I see that they're doing that more. I love it. I like it. I just need to see more of it, because such a big community. And I just feel like we just need to see just a little bit more of it. Not that it's not in a bad way, just I would like to see more. I feel like we can branch out and do so many things. I love to see the full-figured men, out here. And I'm like, we have them.
Mm-hmm.
They're here. I want to see more from them. You know what I mean? Like, I see the silver foxes now. Gwen DeVoe has the silver. She made room for them now. There's a whole other you be full figured and silver fox, or you be, I was like, oh, I want to see some more of it. I want to see it getting more media attention, I think is what I'm saying. Like, that's how
I was really blown away when I saw plus size male models, because I really did not think that I was going to see that. Plus size female models have been around for quite a while at that point. Not doing them any justice in the fashion industry. But then when I saw a plus size male model, I was like, my jaw dropped. I was like, seriously? Because, as tough and as critical as they are on plus size women models, I can't imagine what they're saying about the men. Right. And then it really took off. And I'm like, okay, obviously something is shifting here.
Yeah, there is a shift. And I see the confidence more. So when I had to host District of Curves, their fashion show last July. And to see the guys come out, I was like, oh, and the ladies were like, oh my God. So the support is there. Like, we're not going to make you feel uncomfortable or like you don't look amazing. Look, you won't be loved on. Okay. So I feel like we just I want to see more of that on the runways. I want to see more of that on the websites. I want to see, like, yes, you're showing me how this outfit looks on a smaller, full-figured person. Can you put it on somebody my size, though, so I can see what it's going to look like when I wear it?
Absolutely.
If you have a plus-size mannequin, can you, like, I just feel like there's just a few extra steps that we need to take. Can I get a plus-size mannequin, a full-figure mannequin? Can I get, like, I want to see more on the runway. I need to see more in these music videos. I want to see more in movies. Like, I just did 2 movies, and I know I'm the only plus-size person on set, but listen, did I show up or show out? Yes, I did. So I'm paving the way. We're making room for people,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Baby. Listen, I want to say this because, again, in doing some research, you said something that I love. You describe yourself as a size beautiful.
I do.
Describe yourself as size beautiful. And, you're also decorated, again, can we just say Emmy nominated for hosting. And in 2018, you received the MWDC Press Association Award. So if this doesn't paint the picture, people, between accolades, the job, the history, you do it, you've done it all.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you, like, what do you want to inspire? Little girls who look up to you and say, I see myself in Miss Lady T. What do you want to inspire them?
I just want them, I guess, what do I want to inspire these younger folks to know? Hopefully they already know that. I feel like they already know that they can do anything they put their mind to. And, I feel like they know the basics of it. We've said all this before, but maybe I think for me and what I want to pass on is that, like, delay doesn't mean denial. And then also, like, anything that you envision, anything that you see, anything that you're like, that's what I want to do, you can actually accomplish it. You can achieve it. You can do it. And sometimes you have to close off your ears to those naysayers. Sometimes it'd be the people closest around you that'll make you feel like you cannot reach.
Nobody knows how to wound you like the people who are closest to you.
Oh, I'm just concerned. I'm just trying to level with you because, I'm a friend and, I'm just being honest because other people can be honest with. How about you shut the fuck up? How about that? How about that? The audacity! My goodness!
Audacity is at an all-time high, as experts say.
Oh, wow, yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot. I don't know, because I'm at a point right now where sometimes I have to kick myself in the tush just to keep going and keep pushing forward. And I get, like, a lot of flack, from my friends, my besties, my inner circle, and they're just like, you don't give yourself the credit that you should. So I think I struggle with that too, but actually, like, having that confidence is sometimes it's a good thing. It kicks you and when you need it to, when you need to be there. It's tough. I don't know. I was trying to think, I was like, what can I say to motivate them? Oh, one thing my aunt always tells me is your gift makes room for you. That's one thing I'll always share with everybody. Your gift makes room for you. So whatever it is that you are so talented and gifted at doing, and sometimes it takes a little bit longer for you to uncover it because it's pressed down deep inside. But listen, your gift makes room for you. So even if people tell you, oh, we don't have anything like that here at our TV station, or we don't have anything like that here at our company, guess what? Sometimes God opens up a way for you, okay? And then he pulls out a chair for you, and now you have a seat at the table, okay? Mm-hmm. So your gift makes room for you. Like, it really, it has always come through for me. So that's what I can leave with. I can leave them with that. I think, hey, I like that. The sound of that was good. Hey.
Oh, sorry. I totally lost what I was. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I think I put you in a trance, and
a little bit.
It's the madness. It's sometimes it's hard. I can't control like how beautiful I am, and I know you were just staring at me.
I know.
It's a lot.
I know.
It's tough.
Know that you are such a horrible person for being so incredible, and you should feel terrible, absolutely despicable for doing what you do, Miss Lady T. I spit on you.
Well, you can't expect me to look at Nefertiti and not get hypnotized.
It's hard. I didn't say, look, the thug life chose me, okay?
Well, listen, baby, you are one of our entertainers of the year. Bringing it back. What does it do for you to be a part of this wider plus-size legacy?
Oh my gosh, this is so much. I feel like I've connected with so many of y'all, and I just want to add on to the impact that you guys are already making, because Queen Size Magazine was already making an impact. You know, City's Closet, and you know, all the sponsors that I saw, and all the winners, the nominees, everyone is making an impact in their own way. I just wanted to add to it, honestly. So, you know, winning was great. Being nominated was amazing. Just being in the room full of those people, you know, unique people who have started their own business, who have done their own things, who stepped out on faith and did their own thing. Like, you know, starting my podcast was tough. I'm not gonna lie to you, because I was just like, ain't nobody gonna like me, ain't nobody gonna listen to me, I don't want to do this. So it's tough.
Right people for that, I tell you. You haven't even whinge. You come into the DMs and be like, girl, this podcasting thing. We'll be like, yes, tell us more. It takes a lot of confidence, so when I look at all those people and I see all the, you know, the awardees and the winners and stuff, and it's an honor to be among them, but like, I know it takes so much confidence for any of y'all to get started and to get here and to make that extra step. It's tough. So I understand the personal battles that everyone kind of like goes through with that too. But just seeing them, I have to say, just being up there and being amongst them and just being considered one of the winners. Listen, every day I got to remind myself, I'm like, hold on, first of all, I'm an outstanding entertainer. I'm an entertainer of the year, okay? Like, I got to remind myself sometimes, you know, I'm Emmy nominated. Don't play with me. Two-time Emmy nominated. Baby, don't play with me. Like,
I always keep mine near me so that I can remind myself.
You know what? As you should. I keep mine in the box, because Black people, we keep our stuff in the box still. So mine is still in the box, and I cradle it sometimes. So I cradle it. We talk a little, you know. I care for mine. You know, like it's my baby. It's right near my bed. I'm like, okay, wake up. I wake up flawless, post up, fires. You know, like I really, you got to embody it. It's amazing. So I don't know. I just want to be a part of the impact. I want to keep this going so that, you know, others can see and they can learn, and they say, maybe I want to do the same thing too. And I'll tell them, yeah, you can.
I like the idea of keeping it within. I think I might put it in my bedroom so I can wake up and look at it.
Yeah, you have to keep that near you. That thing heavy, and it seemed expensive.
Oh yeah, girl. When we were listen, not that we were planning on the win, of course, but you know, when before we saw the people walking up, we were a bit like, you know, it's gonna be like a paper certificate situation. Is it gonna be, you know, like the wooden, like when you're in high school, like the wooden board? And it's like
What, you thought you was getting a perfect attendance? You thought it was perfect attendance?
Yeah, can you pay for parking? You know, can you run me my change real quick? You know, $7.05. You know, I gotta keep the meter going. But no, she's a full glass weight. It's fabulous.
Can you please? That thing is heavy. I mean, if you keep it in your bed, just not in a place where you would step on it. Because I'm clumsy. So I know. So I put it in like, it's like at the corner so that I don't like step on anything. But we're close. We've been very close. Having that statue is amazing. It's just really heavy. And it's just super heavy. Yeah, I thought it was gonna be a little paper or a little, you know, different kind of trophy, but they invest into these statues. That's amazing. Thank you, Tawana and Phil,
shout out,
and Gabby, and Cindy's Closet, all them who donated. Thank you for my trophy. Just kidding.
Well, I think it's a good way to sort of round this out and bring it to a close. I wanted to ask a fun question.
Oh yeah, come on.
What food gives you life? And what food brings you peace?
Wow. Can I see a menu? Sorry.
Yes! That is the correct answer. There needs to be options. Yes! Oh my god.
Can I see a menu? I don't know what you mean, because dang. And it's like appetizer or entree.
I mean,
right?
really
Entree.
anything, you know, it's just
Entree.
whatever food just like makes you think, I am alive. And then whatever food really brings you comfort when you're having like the worst day ever.
Oh God. I don't know. So I'm a seafood girl. I love crab cakes, but that'll be like my crab cakes are like my go-to, like my everything. But baby, it's that mac and cheese that got me on a whole nother wave. It's the mac and cheese. Like I like it. Like my sister makes it with the like, it's the cheese, the crusted cheese on top. Like I got to see the cholesterol. You know what I mean? Like I got to see it. I got to see if your heart don't like stop twice while you eating it. Like, is it even mac and cheese? You know what I'm saying?
It is sort of the ultimate comfort food.
It's the ultimate comfort food. It's you gonna die, stroke out, and you can come back and you gonna have another spoon of it. It's gonna be lit. But mac and cheese is my vice by everything. Like I love it so much. Oh my gosh. Now I'm hungry. Do you have any mac and cheese? Do you have any for me? Like, what is happening?
We should have prepared for this. We should have known and had a mac and cheese, a little parcel just delivered directly to your door in preparation for today's.
Yeah, just a little something. I just felt like that could have been a good lead up to it. Something to work on for the future.
Well, we'll remember that.
Yeah,
right there. Ask about it, have it.
I'm actually got a pen right here. I'm just gonna make a quick note.
Just put that. Make that a note. Oh, you know what else I love? Bread pudding. I don't know. That's weird, but I
love bread pudding.
So good.
It's so hard to find people who like bread pudding, but I friggin' love it.
No one likes us like when we order bread pudding.
They're like, really? That? I'm like, yeah, it's good.
It's so good with some ice cream on top and a little. Like, I love it. I don't care who makes it.
When you can taste the vanilla and the butter and just.
Oh, shit. Oh, now I'm hungry. Yes, that and yeah, I had to take a second there. You gotta let me. I gotta take it in. Yeah, that and tiramisu. Bread pudding and
tiramisu is my favorite dessert.
Oh, you a baddie. You a bad and bougie. You an expensive baddie.
I am.
We got to get rid of.
You can blame my late husband on it. Like
that's what it is.
Like he was very bougie in the beginning of our relationship, and he went through a lot of trouble to like impress me, and unfortunately got me used to some things.
Yeah.
So
got you hooked on some stuff.
Well, listen, let me just say this. Back in 2022, him and I went on a cruise together, and we got to go to one of them, like, you know, they do those experimental chef Dago Steve little thing experiences.
Yeah.
Little restaurant. It was like an Alice in Wonderland theme, and they did this like we say caramel. In other countries, just so we're aware, there's an.
Don't play with me, because I don't say caramel. I say caramel.
I say caramel.
It's caramel.
I say caramel.
It's caramel. But there was this incredible like ice cream
from Ohio.
And this one over here was just like, kind of looking over the table like, people done with that? And he was just grabbing plates, and the way he was just like gobbling that up. And he's like, is this normal?
To be fair, I was very stoned.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. There's no judgment. When you're stoned, that gets everything. That's the good reason for everything. That erases anything you did when you did it. You know what I mean? Like,
now, Miss Lady T, before we forget, we need to close out with this question.
Sorry.
No, baby, don't you be sorry. Don't you be sorry. We just need to make sure we get all our good questions in. Because we need to know, and the people need to know, what is coming next for you? And what is the next big thing that you are wanting to have happen next?
Ooh, what's next for me? I have, okay, so I filmed one movie last year, so there's a premiere for that coming up sometime in April. I just shot 2 movies in 1 week in January. So that's, I think one is coming out in the next couple of months, and the other one might be coming out later on this year. So I'm gonna keep you guys posted about that too. So I have several.
Please.
Yeah, I'm excited. I have several movies coming out, and then my podcast is coming back. So I'm gonna start that back up, and I'm excited.
Listen, if you need guests for is Emma on speaker?
Yes, you are on speaker. Oh yes, baby.
Baby. You know exactly who you need to be asking to come and make a little guest appearance on the show.
I'm excited. Yes, I want to partner with all you guys. I want you guys to come on my show for real. I feel like you guys are a joy. Y'all are a blast. So
thank you.
I want to have some guests on. I want to just, I want to continue being as funny as I can, doing the games and stuff on the show. And it's like my little venting session of, talking about what's happening in the world and stuff. And it's good. So I'm bringing back my podcast at the end of February, and then I'm still acting. I'm still doing my lifestyle TV hosting. I'm interviewing more celebs. I'm supposed to be doing some more stuff. So be on the lookout for any interviews that I post on my social media at My Fair Lady T. I think what's next for me is, I know what it is. I know what I want to do. I know it's going to require a little bit more from me. So I'm learning how to do some things at this point in time, but I have big dreams. I have Oprah dreams. I have Sherry Shepherd dreams. And I interviewed Sherry Shepherd, and she completely agreed with me. And I can see myself hosting my own talk show or something.
I could too.
Speak that out into existence. Oh my
goodness,
lady.
I feel it. And then y'all can come on with me and we could talk. You know what I mean?
Yes. And we'll have to have a look at that set and be like, do you remember all the way back in 2025, we talked about this and Vote the Spirit. And now feeling.
And now it came into fruition, baby. Let's do it, okay? Baby. That's it. That's where I see myself. And I can't wait to do more things like this and connect with more people like you guys.
Oh, baby.
Thank you.
Well, listen, thank you so much for joining us today. Where can the viewers find you online?
Awesome. Yeah, they can find me at My Fair Lady T on everything. That's at MYFAIRLADYT, My Fair Lady T on literally everywhere. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, maybe Threads, OnlyFans. Just kidding. No, not with that.
That's like Christian Mingle.
Christian Mingle. Hinge.
Yes. Ourtime.com.
Yes.
I was about to say, well, because I'm on Christian Mingle myself.
Really? Oh, I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if you on there.
Christian
we should connect on there.
You can find me on Christian Mingle at Come Get Some.
Get some. Okay, baby. I like that.
Sorry, I'm not on Christian Mingle.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess it's not for everybody,
No, I'm on Heathens Are Us.
That's the one. But you know what, y'all? That is a wrap for now here with this week's Full Figured interview. You can find me on Instagram at Stanham.
And you can find me on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at Thicc Mouse.
Now, please like this video, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Comment below and let us know your thoughts on today's conversation. Share the video with your friends and encourage them to tune in next week, where we'll be speaking with more full-figured excellence right here on the channel. So until then, have a great week.